What is up, guys? It's Ian from the PI podcast, and it's finally football time. I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning thinking about football. So we've got the London game today, but I really want to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Eagles game. I think this is going to be the game of the week. Two really good teams going at it. I mean, there's a lot of people saying that the Eagles haven't really played that tough competition, but the Jaguars also haven't been very good in the past, so people are very skeptical about the Jaguars. So both teams are kind of have a little bit of skepticism to them. However, I think the better team on paper is the Eagles. But I don't know, man. Doug Peterson has really changed this team. So I could see either team winning. If you're a better, I would go with the plus 6.5 for the Jaguars spread. I don't see them getting blown out. I see them keeping it within a touchdown. So that's a very good score for me. I do think the Jaguars have a huge chance to win this. I think the Eagles, coming off their third win in a row, might be a little relaxed. Jaguars could definitely take advantage of that. The Jaguars defense has really stepped up this year. These wide receivers for the Jaguars are way better than everybody gave them credit for going into the season, because everybody said they need a true number one, which I think they do. But the fact that they're going into next year's draft needing a true number one wide receiver, possibly another running back. We'll see what happens with James Robinson's contract. Some safety help, and maybe some depth at corner and a left guard. I mean, you're really set up for success this upcoming year. They do have a lot of contracts, though, that they have to figure out what they want to do with. Marvin Jones, Shaquille Griffin, Jawan Taylor. Jawan Taylor is one of the big ones. Josh Allen's on his fifth-year option, so they got to figure out what to do with him next year. He'll be on his fifth year next year. So there's some places that could potentially look a lot different even next year, even after this free agency we just had. However, I really like the Jaguars in this one. As a Jags fan, I think we're going to keep it competitive. I think that's the big difference from this year to last year. Even if we lose games this year, I think they will be competitive. And obviously, I think we'll win a lot more than last year. We're already 2-1. I'm looking at the schedule. There's 8 more games that are completely winnable. After watching this team 3 weeks in, there's a huge chance to win multiple football games and compete for the division, which is very good for Jags fans, because, you know, we want to see that. We haven't seen that in a long time. Doug Peterson has completely changed the culture for this team, which we all kind of expected, but not in this way. Doug Peterson has definitely outperformed. We should be 3-0, right? It should be 2 3-0 teams going up against each other. The Jaguars didn't take care of business in Washington, but I mean, it put us on the map, I think, because we played a hell of a football game, and we lost because of ourselves. We didn't lose because of Washington. We lost because of ourselves. And I think we've built on that, and we're building off these wins. I mean, the Colts, coming into the season, were one of the top teams. The Chargers, coming into the season, one of the top teams. You know, you could talk about how injury prone they were or whatever, but the fact of the matter is we've played decent football teams. The other could be said about the Eagles. A lot of people have been saying that the Eagles haven't really won that many tough matchups, but regardless, they've destroyed their opponents. So, I mean, that's kind of one of them stats that, like, if you're barely beating teams, that'd be one thing, but they're destroying them. So I'm not taking the Eagles lightly. They're a very good football team. Could be the best in the NFL, especially after today. Hopefully we win. I'm looking for Trayvon Walker to make a little bit of a name for himself today. I'm looking for Devin Lloyd to continue doing what he's been doing. Really hope Shaquille Griffin plays. I haven't said anything about him yet today, as of right now, as I'm making this video at 7 o'clock in the morning. Really looking for that secondary to lock down Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins, like Dallas Goedert. I think Devin Lloyd and Dallas Goedert's a very good matchup. And I'm looking for them to stop the run game. I want them to keep Jalen Hurts contained. That's one thing I really want to watch. We haven't really played any really mobile quarterbacks. Herbert was hurt, Matt Ryan, and then Carson Wentz. He wasn't really doing much. So on the offensive side of the ball, I do believe Zay Jones is still questionable as of right now. But I think Tim Jones can come in and, make a name for himself. And I want to see this running game continue to pick up when the passing game's not working, and then I want to see the passing game continue to do what it's been doing. Trevor Lawrence has looked really good, and I hope he continues to look that way. This is going to be a good defense, though. Darius Slay's no joke. He's having a career year from the first 3 games so far. And I want to see this offensive line continue to stop pressure. That's been something that's why we're so successful. I would like to see Jamal Agnew a little bit more on the field. I think 1 or 2 times a game is not enough for him. I think he needs to be on the field at least 6 or 7 times a game, in 2 or 3 play calls in his direction, because he can change the game in 1 play. Same with Travis Etienne. We got to get him, scheme him open for a big play, because he needs to have a big play to boost his confidence a little bit. I think Travis Etienne hasn't been bad, but I think he could be better. This offensive line has been very good this year, very underrated, especially after preseason. We were all worried about it. They've been playing lights out. Trevor's been upright pretty much the whole season. And he's having a career year because of it, I mean, this is Trevor's rookie year, and they're making the most of it. So thank you guys for watching. I do have the Jaguars winning 31-27. I think this is going to be a pretty close game regardless of the outcome, unless this Eagles team really is not that good, which I don't see that being the case. I think they're stacked, and I think they're well coached. But I think the Jaguars have a lot of talent on defense and offense that people are kind of ignoring because the Eagles are so good, and we're well coached as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go Jags. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.